How can a country this small wind up with so many dishes? And welcome back to Cliffieland. This is week in country number 148 on our second attempt of cooking the food of every single country in the world. And tonight up to the nation of San Marino. San Marino, a small landlocked nation, only about 24 square miles, is completely surrounded by northeastern Italy, and it is the 5th smallest country in the world and the world's smallest republic. Its food is really delicious, and as you would imagine, it's very much like that of the parts of Italy that it is surrounded by. It is heavy in a lot of livestock production. They have a lot of great wines there. You'll find a lot of dairy, and you're going to find that in the dishes that we're doing tonight. Now, last time we cooked this over 3 nights, so let's take a look and see how things went when we tried things then. Well, 4 years ago on the Global Cooking Challenge, like I said, I did get to cook over 3 nights, and that was a ton of food. The first night we did 2 of the dishes that we're doing here tonight. The first one being a nutty rocket salad. Rocket is a British term for arugula. That was absolutely out of this world spectacular, the best salad I'd ever made, and I'm really kind of shocked that I didn't make it again since. So I'm really looking forward to doing that one again. We served that with a Nidi di Rondine, which is swallow's nests, which is very specific to the region. It is a rolled up pasta dish that has ham and cheese inside, and that came out okay, except I kind of misjudged how big they should be and the size of my vessel, so they were kind of okay. I'm gonna try to compensate for that this time. We'll see how that goes. The second night I made another really delicious dish, which is sort of like a flatbread with arugula and prosciutto inside, almost kind of like a sandwich. It was really, really great, and unfortunately we don't have the time to do that one tonight. On the third night, I did 2 dishes, one of which we're doing tonight. The first one being Maiale al latte, or a pork braised in milk. And that was an enormous dish. I wound up cutting it in half. Still, it was really great. Loved it. Looking forward to doing it tonight. I really want to do the entire plate, so I decided I was going to cook for company. And we're going to see how that goes. And I served that with a dessert, which I don't normally do desserts, but it was an apple and fig pie, and that came out really well. Unfortunately, don't have time for doing that one tonight. So, to recap, we're doing the 3 dishes. We're doing the pork braised in milk, we're doing the nutty butternut rocket salad, and we are doing the swallow's nests. And a word about the last one. On the recipe for that, you can use lasagna sheets that you buy from the store. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to try to make my own pasta, and I did. I'm not taking time to put the recipe for that on here, but you will find it in the About section if you want to look for that down below, along with the other recipes. But enough of that. We need to see what go into tonight's 3 dishes. First, for our Maiale al latte, or pork braised in milk, we'll need a 1/4 cup of olive oil, a 5-pound boneless pork shoulder, also known as pork butt, with no skin, 2 large rosemary sprigs, 2 large sage sprigs, 4 bay leaves, 4 whole garlic cloves, skin on, a 1/2 cup of dry white wine, 3 cups of whole milk, and salt and pepper. And then, for our swallow's nests, we'll need, for the bechamel sauce, 2 tablespoons of butter, 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 1½ cups of milk, 1/8 of a teaspoon of nutmeg, and salt to taste. And for the filling, 8 to 10 ounces of ham sliced very thinly, 8 to 10 ounces of mozzarella cheese sliced very thinly, about 1/2 cup of Parmesan to spoon on top of each nest, and 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Also, you can use store-bought lasagna sheets of pasta or make your own. A link to that recipe will be in the About section. And finally, for our nutty butternut rocket salad, we'll need, first, for the salad, 1 butternut squash, peeled, cubed, and cooked till tender, 6 ounces of rocket, also known as arugula, greens, 6 ounces of fresh baby spinach leaves, 4 radishes, washed, halved, and sliced thinly, a 1/4 cup of dry roasted pecan nuts, a 1/4 cup of unsalted roasted walnuts, a 1/4 cup of pomegranate seeds, 6 slices of prosciutto, which will be sautéed until a little crispy and then roughly chopped, 6 ounces of feta cheese crumbled, and cayenne pepper. And for the vinaigrette, half a cup of olive oil, 2 large cloves of garlic, peeled and crushed, 3 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, 1 teaspoon of dark brown sugar, half a teaspoon of fine sea salt, and half a teaspoon of freshly ground black peppercorns. This is gonna be really great. Company is coming, so we gotta get cooking. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Then on the stove, heat a Dutch oven over medium-high heat and add the olive oil. Add the pork shoulder to the pot and brown all sides about 5 to 8 minutes aside, and when on the last side, add the rosemary. Add the sage, add the bay leaves, add the garlic cloves, add the white wine, add the milk, and season liberally with salt and pepper. Cover and put in the oven for 2.5 to 3 hours, basting and turning over the meat every 45 minutes or so. When ready, take from the oven, remove the pork, and put it on a plate in a warm oven. Strain the sauce and serve in a gravy boat or in ramekins as gravy. You can also pick out the curds and serve them on toast if you'd like. After making your pasta and letting it rest, if you're not using pre-made lasagna sheets, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, the same as the pork roast. Roll out the pasta dough into a large rectangle, about 14 by 21 inches or so. Then make the bechamel sauce. In a small pot over medium heat, melt the butter. Whisk in the flour, whisk in the nutmeg, and when completely combined, slowly add the milk until a thick sauce forms, and set it aside. Brush half of the bechamel sauce on the flattened dough, and top with the slices of ham. Top with the slices of cheese, and roll up the dough tube, and place it in the freezer for 30 minutes, which should make it easier to cut. We forgot to do this and paid the price. Take out a casserole dish and oil it liberally. Spoon into the dish the remaining half of the bechamel sauce, and when time is up, remove the pasta roll from the freezer and slice into individual nests, halving and halving again. Brush the sides of the nests with olive oil and place, cut side up, in a casserole. Note, the last time ours were too thick and didn't quite fill the dish. This time we fixed that but didn't realize we needed a bigger casserole dish. Top with a grated Parmesan cheese, about half to 1 teaspoon per spiral, and bake for 30 to 45 minutes, removing when the cheese is golden brown. Prepare the vinaigrette. Heat the olive oil in a saucepan over medium heat, and add in the garlic cloves. Sauté until golden brown, and then remove the garlic and take the saucepan off the burner. Add in the balsamic vinegar, add in the brown sugar, add in the salt, add in the pepper, and return the saucepan to the burner on very low heat and stir until emulsified. Take it off the burner and let it cool. Then, in a large bowl, mix the spinach, arugula, and radish, and toss to combine. Scatter the drained squash cubes on top, and sprinkle cayenne pepper. Then, in a separate bowl, mix the pecans, walnuts, and pomegranate seeds, and mix it well. Add the nut mix to the salad bowl, add the feta cheese, and the crispy prosciutto pieces, mix and toss. And to serve, pour the vinaigrette over the salad. You can serve the salad family style or in individual bowls. Dress the pork with sprigs of rosemary and sage for color if desired, and ideally serve the swallow's nests individually, but owing to our mistake we went with family style, and enjoy. How'd that all turn out? Well, it was fantastic. We all loved it. It took an insane amount of time, but it was totally worth it. Let's start off with the swallow's nests. That was really nice. I kind of screwed up because when I was rolling it up, I was supposed to put it in the freezer for a little while to make it like toughen up, to make it easier to slice, and I forgot to do that, so it kind of squished when it sliced, which it's not supposed to do. Also, when I did it before, I cut it into maybe like 8 pieces and they were kind of tall and it, you know, didn't really fill up the entire casserole. This time I cut it into 16 pieces and now it was too wide and everything got to be squished in. So, you know, they didn't look the way they're supposed to look, but they were really delicious. So I'm going to give those 4 to 5 globes, a tasty, cheesy, hammy delight. And then for that pork braised in milk, that was wonderful. The meat was delicious. It was fall apart tender. It had those great flavors of the rosemary and the sage, and the gravy on top was just really nice, so make sure you save that strained liquid so you can put it on top because it really makes it. So I'm going to give the pork braised in milk 4 out of 5 globes. Super, super tasty. But the star of the show, as last time, was that Nutty rocket butternut salad thing, which was fantastic. My only complaint was the bowl I had, which is huge, itself was too small and stuff was falling out. But it was really, really great. The nuts gave it just a fantastic taste, and the seeds, the pomegranate seeds, and the feta gave a nice bit of saltiness with the prosciutto, and the arugula and spinach was fantastic, and the squash was terrific, and the whole thing was just out of this world. It's the best salad I've ever made. I'm gonna give that one 5 out of 5 globes. Take the time, get the ingredients, do it yourself. You'll thank me later. Take it to your next potluck. So that does it for little old San Marino. We have been on our run of 5 saints and 5 islands. We just did the saint that's not an island, and we're gonna go back to do an island that's also a saint next week when we hit the last one of those with the food of Sao Tome and Principe. See you then. And remember, if you'd like to be advised when these videos are posted, please be sure to follow us on Periscope. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Like and subscribe if you'd like to be advised when these videos are posted, and be sure to hit that bell to get those notifications. Remember, links to the original recipes can be found in the About section. If you have any thoughtful feelings or helpful suggestions about the food we're eating, please be sure to sound off in the comments. Thanks for watching and happy eating!